Everyone. I'm Meredith, and I'm with the Brahma Kumari's Miami Meditation Center as part of our series, Conversation with Friends. And I am looking forward to getting to chat tonight with Anne. And Anne is the coordinator of the Brahma Kumari Center in Ocala. So welcome, Anne. And we have a very interesting topic tonight, because I think it's one we all, probably most of us, do need to master, right? Tell us about it.
Well, thank you, Meredith. Hi, everyone. Today I was thinking about our relationships with others and looking at the COVID situation. We haven't been able to meet. And I've noticed that, many of us have maybe relatives that maybe we don't feel comfortable with, or maybe we have a background story, or maybe even resentments or negative feelings about different family members or different close relatives. And I find that the topic tonight is how to transform relationships with the power of the mind. So it's integrating a meditation idea into relationships. If I can't be with the person, sometimes maybe we have this like dread of holidays or something. Maybe we don't want to be with those specific people, even though we love them in our hearts. We love them. We want relationships to be good. We in our hearts, we know that relationships are supposed to give us happiness. And when they don't, it's very painful in our hearts. So today we're going to talk about how we can use introspection and use the power of the mind to help transform relationships.
I love the topic. And I'm wondering, what is it that happens with, and as you were saying, especially often it's the people that are closest to us, as you say, the people that we're supposed to love and they love us back. And then to me, it always starts with something little. And it's like you might be annoyed by somebody, right? Somebody does something that you don't like, or they behave a certain way. And then there's friction. And would you say that unless you really, really transform that and change that feeling about them, it's not even going to stay the same? Does it often get worse?
I would say so. I mean, anything that you keep on thinking about or keep on repeating is going to get stronger and stronger in your awareness, right? So I know even my own experience in the past, there have been certain people that, you think of them and you just like cringe. And it's not because you hate them, or it's almost because you want to be close to them. And it's like there's something in the way almost. Maybe it's a memory of something that happened, or maybe you were hurt or something like that. And it seems to stick like a thorn in our mind. And it's not really our nature to be like that. So I think this is a nice topic, because we're going to look at like what we really wanted it to be, how we really feel about these people, and how we can kind of make it better.
What I find is interesting about it is that it really is up to us. And often, I know for me, especially in the past, until I began to learn a lot of these things through meditation and other ways, I'm sure, people have learned some of these things, but I often used to feel, especially, that they should change, not that I should change. There's something, they have a problem, right? And I was never thinking about me changing. And that's really, to me, the crux of all of this, what's important about through a spiritual path and meditation and positive thinking and just changing yourself, that we are always, if something is wrong in a relationship, we can't blame the other person, right?
Well, we can.
Well, we shouldn't. We shouldn't. We do, but
well,
yeah.
We do it. I mean, that's the situation, right? I mean, where we feel hurt, and then we associate that hurt with that person's behavior, that person's attitude, something that happened with that person. So I associate my hurting with them, or the memory of them, or the action. And what we learn in Raj Yoga meditation is we learn about something called sanskars, or something called like our inner personality traits. And they are individual. So for instance, if you have the person that's bothering you in your family and they act out, at the family gathering, and I could be cringing and hurt and feel bad, and my sister might be like, oh, whatever. So why is it that the person could be doing the same thing and I would feel bad or hurt, but somebody next to me wouldn't? And I find that that piece of information from Raj Yoga study, meditation, has really at least begun to chip away at that hardness between people, to realize that I need to take care of myself. I need to look at why I feel hurt. Do I have expectations of this person? Do I feel like they should be something that they're not? Am I not taking care of my own boundaries? Sometimes it's not their fault. Sometimes I'm doing too much or too little. So there's a lot to look at when we start looking at ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, that's the key, is just really, I think that it starts with going within, right? And going within and trying to understand on a deeper level what it is, because maybe it's that person reminds you of something that happened to you as a child, or the way somebody treats you. And it might not be family. We're also talking about, we try to change friends, right? We try to change, I know at work, in my life, work was a challenge with certain people until I began to learn that it was about me, and it wasn't about, I can remember people that I worked with, especially in television, live TV that I was doing. There was always a conflict. I'm not saying just with me, there was just a conflict with someone and someone else at work because of the pressure. So, excuse me again. Let me just take some water. I think, would you say pressure sometimes in people's lives activates that, that dislike for certain people? You're under pressure and then you let it out on somebody closest to you.
Well, yes, I think any pressure could bring up our own weaknesses. Let's say maybe I would be more sensitive to what somebody's doing, whereas if I was feeling powerful, maybe I wouldn't feel upset at all about what they're doing. Or, there's a couple of secrets to this thing, and it's hard to look at. You have to see where you're at. Like if I really feel angry and I really feel upset and I really feel like traumatized, that maybe I need to just take care of myself for a while and forget about the other person for a while and just start taking care of myself. As it gets lighter and lighter, I can start maybe taking a look at what the circumstances are. Why did it come up? Is it because of stress? Is it because they got the job that I was supposed to get? Or is it because, how long am I going to hold on to that resentment? Or, and then it becomes an exercise in taking care of yourself. And I find that when I do that, the relationships automatically get better. I remember our senior sister Veronica, Sister Wadi, actually said to me one time, I was talking to her about a work situation I had years ago. I was really struggling because just like I just mentioned, somebody had got a job or something. And I, the typical, I deserved it more, that typical kind of a feeling. And, Wadi's sister Veronica said to me, well, how can you love them if you're hating them? And that made an impact. Like she said, how can you serve them or how can you love them if you're hating them? And so I want to say this to anyone who's listening. None of us want to be hateful. At the end of the day, we want to be loving and we want to get in touch with that loving heart that we have. So I think we have to take care of ourselves, really, and they'll be all right while we take care of ourselves.
And you are so right. And we really do. We do want good relationships, right? I mean, if we have one bad relationship in our life, just one, like you say, that kind of dislike for somebody or fear or even hate, how can our life really feel good? Because our mind is going to go, we're going to be thinking about that person, or every time they walk into a room, or we have to face them, we're going to have like a really bad feeling. And the whole point of this spiritual discipline that I know we've been learning for so many years with the Brahma Kumaris, and meditation and spirituality is about, like you said, it's about loving people. And so if there's just one person that we feel dislike for, in a way, everything is sort of poisoned, isn't it? Because we're always going to be uncomfortable at some point.
Yeah.
So you said self-care. So I know that you talked about, we were talking earlier about yoga, and maybe if we do have a situation with someone, what do we do? You said, take care of ourselves first. Maybe that you mean kind of like detach, right? But
Yeah.
what do we do with that, that bad feeling that we have?
I would say, I mean, it, you have to want to change it, first of all.
Yeah.
You have to want to change it because
Yeah.
there's a lot of ego juice in not liking someone. Okay.
Mm,
If I don't like someone or if I'm mad at someone, my ego will come up with a million different justifications for continuing that negative feeling. So the first step is to actually want to change it, not change them, but want to change the way you think and feel so that the relationship can be better, not negative. So that's the first step. The first step is that you want to change it and you're willing
mm,
to do something to change it other
mhm.
than just focus on them.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So
You're
that's,
willing to do the work. Right.
yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. My experience is that anything fear or hate really comes from a weakness inside or a hurt inside that may or may not have anything to do with that person.
Yeah.
So for instance, like if I feel um, jealous of someone, okay,
Right.
what is the root of that jealousy? The root of that jealousy is that I feel insecure.
Mm,
I feel so if I actually forgot about them for a minute and said, wait a minute, why do I feel insecure? Why do I feel angry? Why do I feel? Take them out of the equation. So that would be step two. So step
mm.
one would be I'm willing to do something. I want to change this and I'm willing to do it. Step two is ask myself, why do I feel that way? And not in a judgmental way, but in an inquiry, like an openness, a loving way. Why do I feel that way? And then let yourself tell the answer. Because the other thing we were mentioning about, like, you want to love everyone, and we have plenty of those platitudes too. These, oh, love everyone and have good feelings and for everyone and blah, blah, blah. And everybody says that. But then inside their heart, there's still parts that are hurting. So who's going to take care of those, right? So we need to take care of those. So step two would be to actually go in there and take care and be authentic. Like it's inauthentic to keep saying, I just love everybody and I love everybody if you really feel in your heart like you're hurting. So I think that would be step two, to take a look at that. And then when we begin to feel a little bit better inside or get some insights, we can, step three maybe would be to bring the person back in, but
Mhm.
have a loving vision towards them. Like
Mm.
you don't hold any grudge. It really has nothing to do with them. It has to
Yeah.
do with me. And
Right.
maybe I've sent like negative vibrations toward them and I'm sorry for that. And I'm not going to do that anymore. So you're transforming your own energy through healing your own hurt. And then you're transforming your energy and that will definitely change the relationship. I can say
Beautiful.
experience. Yeah.
Also, I mean, along these lines, I also feel like you were saying you have to go within and kind of face that you have a situation. You do. And it's not about telling other people how you feel about that person. It's you and yourself, your higher self. And what I have found is that I have to really be honest with myself, because I could sit there all day and blame them. They were mean, they were nasty. I remember once a family member came for a holiday dinner. I still remember it, years ago, and said, I don't really like your food. You're cooking. He's probably right, but I worked so hard to make the dinner, and then he said something like that. It's not one of my favorite holidays being at your house, something like that. And I was really, really mad. I mean, it took me a long time to get over that, and I had to face myself, because I was a meditator, and studying, with the Brahma Kumaris, and it kind of went back when I faced myself and I asked myself in an honest way, and it came back to this feeling that I didn't like criticism. I mean, I guess who does? But I really was kind of weak in that way, that if somebody would criticize me, I wouldn't be able to just accept it. There's going to be people that don't like your cooking or don't like, your work at the job, on the job, right? It's kind of like accepting that and being okay with that. That's been my experience. And that changed me when I was able to realize it's almost like you have to be so honest with yourself and and a realization will happen.
Yes.
And it might have to do with childhood, right? You might have to go back to somebody hurting you when you were young, and you carry that with you when you were from a child. And
one of the things I've noticed is that don't be surprised. Maybe anybody who's listening can relate to this too, that even though you feel strong, somehow when somebody does something, you get shocked. You ever get the shock? Like the person says something and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, like you're thrown into this sea of negative thoughts or fearful thoughts or upset, and you don't even know what to do with it. It's like this wave of stuff because you're like shocked. It's like you're not ready for it. And I want to say that if that happens, don't get mad because it happened. Just feel like, say to yourself, look, this is definitely a weak area. I need to take care of myself here. I want to get to the point where I'm not shocked, obviously, but the fact that I was, because then we get embarrassed, we feel mortified, we feel humiliated, we feel weak. Maybe we say something back, or maybe we don't handle the situation well. So then maybe there's cleanup to do after it, So I just want to say that on this spiritual journey, have unlimited love and patience for yourself. Your good intention to get better and to get positive and to become a loving being and to become whole and complete and powerful is enough. Do not worry about mistakes or anything. Just have unlimited love and patience for yourself.
Beautifully said, Anne. And that's really the key, isn't it? Even if you make these mistakes and you mess up and things don't go right, just know that you're on the path,
right,
to change. And like you said, love for yourself is the key. I just heard someone say that what he works with is little changes in himself, little by little, not some big massive change. Oh, now I'm, gotten rid of all my flaws and everything, but just drop by drop, I make changes in my life. And I'm proud of, I'm happy with myself because I know that little by little I'm changing. And that's what, Brahma Kumari's meditation is all about, is really self-change, changing ourselves to be happier, to be more fulfilled, to be better. And meditation is, as anybody that watches our programs knows about the Brahma Kumari's meditation, for us is really a very key element. So why don't we do some meditation with everybody and
sounds good.
Work on this, if something's going on inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So everyone who's listening, just sit up straight in your seat, nice and comfortable. You can either leave your eyes open or you can close them. We're just going to take a moment to reflect on the conversation that we just had. Gently reflect on maybe one or two relationships in your life right now that you wish were more loving, fulfilling, happy, and they've maybe felt like a source of disappointment or hurt. And just for these next few minutes, imagine the arms of love, your own love, encircling yourself and those relationships. That in your heart of hearts, you have no animosity towards anyone, and that your intention is to clear away and also empower myself so that I can be positive, generous-hearted, and powerful in all relationships. And also the heart of forgiveness, that everyone is experiencing their own past, their own reactions, their own weaknesses, and that their behaviors and so forth are likely based on those, maybe have nothing to do with me. So maybe in these few minutes, I can let everyone off the hook. including myself, and have a beautiful, open, generous attitude toward myself and everyone. And just take a nice deep breath in and exhale. And one more deep breath in, relaxing the body, exhale. And just take one more moment of silence. Don't think about anything, just for a moment. Just be completely still and silent, allowing everything to be digested and merge in myself, in my heart. Just watch the breath for a moment. It's okay to be quiet with the self. Om Shanti. Okay.
Beautiful, Anne. Beautiful meditation. Feel really good.
Thank you, Meredith. Nice examples. Very good, nice conversation. I appreciate it.
You have to come back again soon.
Be happy.
Okay, join us in Miami.
Anytime. I'd be happy to.
Thank you so much. And thank you out there, everybody out there. And remember to tune in other nights of the week, weeknights, where we have many, many classes and many teachers, facilitators that are just sharing. We're just all about sharing what we learned through the Brahma Kumaris and how we feel that we're progressing and we continue because there's no end to self-transformation. Om Shanti.